Good morning, children. Today we will continue the same chapter in geography, chapter number 8, India Physical Features. So, children, so far we have studied about the location and size of India. And also we have studied there are six main divisions in the physical features of India. So, let us revise once again what are the physical features of India. So, there are six main regions, six main divisions. First one is the Northern Mountains or Great Himalayan Range. Second one is Northern Plains, which is green color. Third one is Great Indian Desert. Fourth one is the Peninsular Plateau. Fifth one is Coastal Plains. And sixth one is Island, Indian Island or Island Groups. So children, purchase the map, whether it is political or physical map, any map you can purchase, and mark all these six regions with the color and label it, means write all the names on it. So let us talk about the northern mountains. First one is northern mountains. The northern mountains are the range of mountains forming a wall in the north of India. The northern mountains are young fold mountains formed comparatively recently in the history of Earth. So, a number of such mountains diverge from the Pamir Node in Central Asia, making a huge wall separating India from the rest of Asia. So, world's highest peak is Mount Everest. World's highest peak is Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meter. And the second highest peak is Godwin Austen, or other name is K2, which is in the Karakoram range, lies in these mountain ranges. So these mountains have many glaciers such as Siachen Glacier, which is the second largest mountain glacier in the world. Now what is glacier? Here glacier means a large body of ice and snow. So how it forms? It forms because snow in an area does not melt in summer. So the Himalayas are the highest mountain range of the region. It forms Himalayas are the highest mountain range of the region. It forms an arc towards the south of the Karakoram as they stretch from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to the Arunachal Pradesh in the east. Here you can observe in this picture the Himalayas stretch from the Jammu and Kashmir in the west and to the Arunachal Pradesh in the east. So children, Himalayas are divided into three distinct mountain ranges which are as follows. First one is Himadri, also called as Greater Himalayas, and second one is Himachal, which is also called as Lesser Himalayas, and third one is Shivaliks, also called as Outer Himalayas. Here you can see in this picture three distinct mountain ranges: Himadri, Himachal and Shivaliks. So now what is Himadri? The Himadri mountains, the highest and longest uninterrupted range, form a natural boundary in the extreme northern part. They form the northern frontiers of India. Their average height is 6,100 meter, which is 20,000 feet, rising to 8,000 meter above sea level. They have the highest and loftiest peaks in the world. Loftiest means top, highest. So the world's highest peak, the Everest, lies in the Himadri. So world's highest peak is Mount Everest, which lies in the Himadri in this region. So these high mountains have large glaciers which feed the Himalayan rivers. And the second one is Himachal or Lesser Himalaya or Middle Himalayas. So the Himachal mountains lie between Shivalik in the south and the Himadri mountains in the north. So it is between the Shivalik and Himadri. So the average height of the mountains range from 1,500 meter to 3,000 meters. So they are famous for their scenic beauty, forests and wildlife. They are a source of many perennial rivers for the northern plains and many beautiful hill stations like Shimla, Mussoorie and Darjeeling located here. And these are a great attraction for tourists. And the third one is Shivaliks. The Shivalik mountains lying south of the Himachal region are the youngest, lowest and narrowest range in the entire Himalayan system. Their average height is about 900 to 1200 meters and an average width of only 16 kilometers. So they are made of poorly consolidated rocks and have broad longitudinal valleys called dunes. The Shivaliks also referred to as foothills. And there is also another term, Purvanchal Mountains. What are these? The extension of the Himalayas in the northeast is called the Purvanchal Mountains, and they lie close to India's eastern border with Myanmar. And they too are young fold mountains with conical peaks, steep slopes, and deep valleys, but not are as rugged or tall. So, children, the Himalaya term is derived from the Sanskrit word that is him plus alaya. Him means snow and alaya means home. So Himalaya is home of snow. Now the next one is northern plains. The northern plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. These densely populated plains are formed by the Himalayan rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. They run parallel to the entire stretch of the Himalayas. They cover most of the northern and eastern parts of India. The northern plains were formed by the deposition of silt brought by the Himalayan rivers. So these fertile plains support one of the most densely populated regions in the world. So the Ganga Brahmaputra Delta is the largest delta in the world. It is also called as Sundarban Delta. And four divisions of the Great Plains are the Babar Belt and the Tera Belt, the Bangar Belt and the Khadar Belt. And the third one is the Great Indian Desert. The Thar Desert lies in on the northwestern part of India. It is the 17th largest desert in the world. It is mainly situated in Rajasthan, with Thar Desert mainly situated in Rajasthan, covering a little more than half of its area. It is made up of sand dunes, weathered and rocky land, and compact salt lake bottoms. The temperature ranges from 0 degrees Celsius in winter to over 50 degrees Celsius during summer. And rainfall in this region is about 10 to 50 centimeter per annum. And there are the Aravali's, the Vindhyas and Satpura range. Aravali's are old fold mountains run across Rajasthan. And Vindhyas, they divide northern India from southern India. And Satpura range, these are along with the Vindhyas, they divide the northern plain from the peninsular plateau. Now talking about peninsular plateau, it lies to the south of Ganga basin. It is the oldest land mass of India and is made up of hard igneous and metamorphic rocks. Narmada River and the Vindhya and Satpura ranges divide this region into Malwa Plateau in the north and Deccan Plateau in the south. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri are eastward flowing rivers in the Deccan. These are seasonal rivers. These rivers have made large deltas in the broad eastern coast. And Tapti River is an important westward flowing river that flows across a rift valley. So children, talking about coastal plains, the coastal plains in India are divided into two parts, the western coastal plains and the eastern coastal plains. The narrow western coastal plain lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, and the northern part of the western coastal plains is called Konkan and the southern part is called Malabar. Here you can see Konkan coastal plain and Malabar coastal plain. The river Narmada and Tapti flows across these plains into the Arabian Sea. The Konkan coast lies in the southern part of Gujarat, and the Malabar coast in Kerala is a great tourist attraction for its lagoons and natural harbors. The broad eastern coastal plain lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It has large deltas formed by the east flowing rivers. The eastern coastal plains are called Northern Sircars and the Coromandel coast along Tamil Nadu. The last one is the island groups. The two island groups of India are the Lakshadweep Islands and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Lakshadweep Islands are Coral Island in the Arabian Sea. Here you can see it is in the west part. And the next one is the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These are the volcanic islands in the Bay of Bengal. They are inhabited by tribal people who have their own unique lifestyle. The islands of India are classified as union territories. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are estimated to be more than 570 islands, of which 38 are inhabited. So children, this is all about this chapter. Go through once again this video and read the chapter, and don't forget to paste the map in your notebook, and before pasting the map, mark all these points, mark all these physical features in your on the map. Thank you and have a nice day.